Alright, before we get to today's review, I want to give a special thanks to Earth Motor Cars for letting me review their Tesla Model S today. These guys are amazing. I actually have a link to their website in the description of this video. If anybody is interested in a vehicle, they can get their hands on it for you, or if you want to even purchase this exact Tesla Model S in today's review.
Welcome back to Crash Cars, everyone. First off, if you're new to the channel, my name is Harrison Woodruff, and go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button because why not? Anywho, here we have today with us a Tesla Model S P85D. Now, this thing is ridiculous, and we're gonna give it a full Crash Cars review. Now, what is a Crash Cars review if you're new to the channel? Well, what is it? Anybody that has seen a review, just put a description of what it is in the comments, and then I'll tell you anyway. But I'll give you a full exterior review, interior review, a startup, but it's an electric car because Teslas are Teslas and they're electric and they don't have exhaust, which is annoying. And then a driving review. And obviously with the Tesla, we got to do some insane pulls. So don't skip until there because there's some cool stuff I'm going to say. So Tesla, obviously it is one of the many brainchilds of the infamous, famous Elon Musk. Now, yes, this is a rocket ship, but it is not a SpaceX rocket ship. So keep that separate because this thing is ridiculously fast. And we're going to get into that later inside. But what is Tesla? What is the Model S? What is the P85D? Well, let's start off with Tesla. Tesla obviously is the huge corporation, car company, that started producing the craziest and most fastest, I know that didn't make any grammatical sense, but the fastest road production cars, electric road production cars, from 2012 to now. And they have absolutely killed the game, especially with the Model S. Now, the Model S is Tesla's version of the luxury sedan. And it is all electric, obviously, because Tesla doesn't like wasting emissions. And you can tell, especially inside, and I'll get to that later. But this is the Model S, obviously. Now, what is the P85D? Let's start out with the 85D part. So D is what they kind of call their cars. It's just like D, done, there, okay. Now the 85 is like a model number, kind of. So from 2012 to now, the 85 went from 85, 90 to 100. So you can go out now and buy like the new Tesla Model S 100D or P100D or stuff like that. This happens to be the 85D. So what is that red P there for? Well, obviously that's doink performance, because who doesn't not want a little red P there to symbolize performance? I do. I definitely do. Or just like a little S, something cool like that. But that's what it is. Performance 85D. Makes sense, right? So what can you get a Model S in? Well, you can get it in different range miles, like different mile packages. You can get it from like 250 to up to 300 miles or somewhere in between if you wanted to. And you can also get a little bit more power. Yeah, you can get more power. The performance, actually, I'll save this for later in the video. So if you want to just go ahead and get to the performance, just skip it. I'll be inside. That's where it'll be. It'll be somewhere in there. But performance is also upgraded with the, obviously, performance by a significant margin. And that's an added on charge. Now, like if there's any Crash Cars lovers out there, there is no motor really up front to show you because, motors are motors and engines are engines. Engines are combustion, motors are electric. That's how I do it. There really isn't anything to show you up there, so we're not gonna hop up front. We're just gonna hop straight inside. First thoughts on this interior. It is very modern and quite elegant. From the full moonroof to the suede and fake leather interior to the absolute massive iPad-like screen that measures actually to 18 inches, which is ridiculous. Just insanity. This interior, I will give Tesla a huge check, and I hope you guys give it a massive thumbs up because this thing is ridiculous. It's just awesome. Now, I know I keep saying fake leather. Yes, this is an entire synthetic leather interior. Tesla does not believe in the murdering and slaughtering of cattle for car interiors. So you can enjoy more cattle at your dinner table. That's not why. They just don't like the slaughtering and murdering of cows. Not for dinner tables or anything like that. But this is the interior. And like I said, we got some suede up here. We got a full suede headliner with a gorgeous moonroof, with a all synthetic leather steering wheel with some very, very sensitive buttons. We got the voice control, some temperature, driver's temperature over there, your volume, and your skip forward and back on the infotainment right there. Now, one thing I do really want to point out, all of the buttons in this car and toggle levers, handles, whatever you want to call them, are straight out of a Mercedes. The first thing I sat in here and saw was everything is straight out of a Mercedes except for the buttons on the steering wheel. All the windows, mirror, and toggles right here are all out of Mercedes. Literally, like straight up. Like I had the same one in my car. It's hilarious. That same one too. My buttons down here are a little different, but that's what I noticed. Hands down, those are straight out of Mercedes, which is interesting. Tesla, why'd y'all do that? If y'all are watching, just please comment and tell me why. Anywho, which, I mean, that's not a bad thing. That is actually, it shows that they believe in quality because Mercedes parts are quality. So, good thing right there. But along with this infotainment screen, you have another one in front of you, and that is your heads-up display. I call it your heads. It's actually just your dash right in front of you. You got your speedometer right there. It's digital, all of it. And then you have the little car, and it shows whenever somebody walks around you, like all the radar, it shows how close they are. It's really cool. Now the infotainment, I will say it is pretty confusing to learn. Like you have on the bottom left, you have the controls, and then it gives you all the settings for the car, and it is very confusing to learn. But on the gist of it, like the radio and all that is pretty easy to get to, and navigation and all that. But once you're trying to like do stuff with the car, it gets a little different. Now let's talk about creature comforts other than entertainment and stuff. AC, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 air vents in the front, a big defroster, and some air vents in the back, 2 to be exact. Now storage, you got a huge glove compartment right here, a little tiny one right there, 2 cup holders right here, and these are some nice little elbow rests or arm rests that move back and forth to cover up the cup holder if you don't want it to be seen. Then this is actually the door handle to grab, not a little pocket. It's really cool. The door handle right here is the door handle, and it's out of nice airbrushed aluminum, fancy. Then you got a nice little cutout right here. There's no storage in the door, just remember that. But like I said, there's huge storage right here, some right here, a little slot up underneath the infotainment system, a button to open up a very particularly slim but deep glove box. Now I do want to say one cool thing. These things are inside of the center console glove box thingamabobber, whatever you want to call it, the center storage. And they actually form a nice little cup holder. So in America, you know, we love cup holders, right? And the nicer thing about it is there's a ton of little ridges in here. So you can make, if you have a big old sweet tea or a big old Coke or water or pop for you northerners, you can actually expand those and make it even bigger. Also, it'll help out and have a nice little organizing. So yeah, so that's really it for storage. And obviously you have 2 back seats. Now back there, we'll get to that in a minute, but let's talk about the trunk space. The trunk space in this thing, it's good size, like it's awesome. Now this car specifically has something very cool. It has the 2-3-2 seating option. Well, technically 5 plus 3, well 5 plus 2 seating option. I call it 3 because you can squeeze a third person. Anywho, to that, there's actually 2/3, it's honestly 2 seats in the trunk of the car. Yes, Tesla, you are able to order the car with 2 rear-facing seats in the trunk. So, just to give you perspective, there is plenty of room back there for even people. Now, headroom, 0. And we're gonna get back to that right now. So, see you in the back seat. I have this front seat, the driver's seat, set for me, and I am 6'2", so you cannot fit a 6'2" person back here comfortably. I will say though, the back seats are angled very nicely. They're not too far forward, and they're not like too far back. But the one issue that I have run into, and I'll take my hat off so you can see it perfectly, so there's like no airspace, is the headroom back here. Like this is me sitting straight up. There's no headroom. 0, no headroom. And then this is me like slouching, so now I fit on the headrest. And my back comes off, everything kind of goes around the driver's seat. And that's not too comfortable during a long ride. So one thing they could work on in the Model S's is a little bit longer wheelbase for more room, or at least extend the back seats back, and well, a longer wheelbase, honestly, because that's the cheaper and easiest option. But this is it back here. It's a whole bench row. And then back here, you got the 2 little seats that, as you can see, like right here. This is a little headrest for the back seat. I'm not getting back there because I will not fit there. Sorry. But this is the back seats. Now, I did tell you guys on the outside that we were going to talk about the motors in here. So we're going to jump back up front, and then we're going to talk about the motors up there. So see you guys up there, and then we're going to go for a drive. And don't forget about those insane pulls. So just wait for those if you're still here. I understand it. You guys don't like to stick around long. I get it. Just stick around a little longer. Now, I do want to mention one thing about the back seats. Last thing. Getting out, it's kind of a struggle. Getting out of the front is still kind of a struggle because, yeah, the seat's all the way down. And as you can see, you really have to duck to get out, and you have to duck to get in. It's kind of like the Cupid shuffle or something. I don't know. What am I saying? What am I saying? Anyway, let's get on to the engine. Well, the motor. What am I saying? I don't know. Guys, I need a thumbs up, please. Just, it'll be good motivation. Anyway, on to the motor. The motor produces 416 brake horsepower and 443 foot-pounds of torque. That's pretty dang impressive, especially for an electric motor. Now, I know you guys always see those YouTube videos of these things drag racing all the time. And yes, the Model S has set the record in 2017, did set the record at least back then, for the fastest 0 to 60 time. That is ridiculous. Now, nowadays, it might have been beat, might not, I haven't found out, but you guys can search that and you'll find out. But this car has a 0 to 62 of 3.2 seconds with a top speed of 155. So that little Tesla motor up there is putting out, well, actually, it's not up there. It's back here by the open differential. There's kind of technically 2 motors. So that's kind of obvious. Okay, real quick, say hello to all those people back there. Just, yeah, anyway. I might give them Christmas hats in editing. We'll find out. I might not know how to do that. Anyway, there's technically 2 motors back there with the open diff. So that gives them ability to, you know, give instant torque. There's not a drive shaft or anything for just lag or delay or torque loss. So that is insane that they can produce these numbers from Tesla. Good job. Now, let's go see if we can produce numbers very similar to this on the road. First impressions. There is just a little hum and wind noise and a little bit of tire drone. That is all this car produces in noise. That is ridiculous, guys. Now, there are some settings in here. There's obviously the, you know, steering modes and sport modes and all that. Now, this car, the 85D, does not come with the ludicrous modes. Those are over in the 100D, to be precise. But we are going to mess around with the driving steering modes. So right now we're in comfort, and it is very lightweight, very, honestly, it feels like it's just a straight up electric steering, power steering. So very light, very nimble, and there's a cop up there so we won't do any little S turns. So let's go ahead and switch into standard. It's already a little heavier, more pronounced. You can feel the car a little bit more. So you're like, okay, I understand what to do. It's blah, 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 it's working and all that. And then once, we get past this cop, we'll get on to the other stuff. Now, the suspension in this car, because obviously to have a sports car and a luxury sedan built in one, you have to have a variable suspension. And this is a variable suspension. It is a air ride suspension that has 4 different ride levels. It has low, medium, low, normal, high, and then very high. Obviously to give you some extra ground clearance, so when you do have it all the way down and you want to get past anything in the world, you just, raise the car up and voila, there you go. So wow, you really do notice that difference. That's impressive. So let's go to sport on the steering. What? Okay, that's awesome. Even my Mercedes doesn't just, change like that. That's awesome how it gets so much tighter. That's ridiculous. I reckon we, shoot. Jeez. Okay. It's just gone. Whoa. That was a quick 35 and a 40. Anyway, that's ridiculous. Woo! Okay. Yeah, Teslas are fast. And Teslas, everybody knows this, they have the self-driving. Now, we're on a road that doesn't really do self-driving, or it's not capable of. For it to be able to self-drive, what you have to see is a little blue steering wheel after you turn on cruise control. Now, we have cruise control on, so we're cruising at, 31 miles an hour. Very nice and calm. And the car is holding straight because there's no steering input and the tires are properly aligned and balanced. But we're not able to have the blue steering wheel because there are not really good lines on this road. We're gonna speed up a little bit. But once there is one, we'll be able to try it out fully. And if you do want to see a Model X do this, why are you slowing down? If you do want to see a Model X do this, go check out my review on the Model X, link in description. And actually an info card right here, right there. What? I'm not telling you how fast we just went. It was very quick. What? Jeez. Okay. That was ridiculous. Here we are back at the dealership. This was a wonderful review, had a blast. This thing has some insane pulls. Well, it can make insane pulls. Let's park this puppy. It has great drivability. Oh, thanks for telling me to stop. It has great drivability. All around, the Tesla Model S is awesome. Now, I want to give a huge special thanks to Earth Motor Cars for letting me review their Model S today. And if you guys are interested in this car, I have a link in the description to their website. And if anybody's interested in anything else from them, they got a ton of cool stuff. They have, honestly, one of the best varieties of cars I have seen at a dealership in a while. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, I enjoyed this review tremendously, absolutely tremendously, because I don't really get to review Teslas. I mean, there are not many of them. There's really technically 2 out on the road right now. So I've done the Model X. That was interesting. And now I've got to do the Model S. This thing is honestly awesome and it blew my mind. Like, it really did. I had low expectations because I don't like electric cars. I don't. I like things that make noise and change gears and do all that kind of stuff, because this thing doesn't make noise and doesn't change gears because it's got a single gear transmission. But anyway, like always, go hit that big old subscribe button, smash that like button, turn on that notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time. Crash Cars out.